Hey, watchers and listeners from around the block. Welcome to Cat Attacks Life. Now, you don't know me right now. I hope you get to know each other in the future. I'm just nobody with a dream who likes to talk a lot. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. If you like me, if you don't, that's okay. I don't take it personally. Thank you for those who do. Most importantly, catch me on BUZZSPROUT.com. That's where I upload the podcast episodes directly. It's going to be catattackslife.buzzsprout.com. I'm going to have the link below. Um, so wherever you're listening from, I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're safe. I hope you're doing great and that you're ready to attack today, tonight, whatever time it is. So without further ado, let's get into it. Welcome, guys. It's so weird. This is the first episode ever that I'm putting out personally. I have tested and recorded and made sure my, systems and all the technicalities are sorted out. But this is the first episode of Cat Attacks Life. And let me tell you my process about the name. I was so procrastinating. I was procrastinating on the name because I didn't really have like a theme to my podcast. I just knew I wanted to start one, but eventually I was just like, just whatever comes out first, keep it. And then like I sat on it for a few weeks, and I was just like, what if I just name it a Cat Attacks Life? And from there, kind of, I made the picture, the logo, whatever. I made everything else after, so it just kind of became that, and I'm sticking with it. I am sticking with it because I think it sounds pretty cool. Like I'm attacking life. Like let's all attack life right now. Beat it up. Give it a black eye. So yeah, hi everyone. Welcome. If you're listening, I know most of the people listening right now are people that I know. This is where I've been. This is what I've been formulating. It's been a really rough couple of months. And for those who don't know my story, let's just say there was a lot of grief and a lot of really, really shitty times. Really, really, difficult stuff in life when you go through. You lose people. You just have to find that core of yourself again. So this is where I've been. I recently moved into my apartment. Things are going pretty okay at the moment. Yeah, I'm not doing too bad. So this is where I'm at. I've been MIA from social media for 2 months, I think, running up to 2 months. And it's been a really good time. If I'm being honest, I deleted the apps, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. I don't even use TikTok, so I don't, there's not a lot for me to scroll through, I guess. But in the last 2 months, I've really been dedicated to my mental health, for me to, just go through what I need to go through on my own. And that's what everyone should be doing, right? But me personally, I don't like using social media anymore. And it was helped, even deleting the apps. But being off of it just made me realize that there's a lot of great things in front of me, and there's a lot of energy that I have within that needs to be tapped into. So here I am. And yeah, it's been a minute, I think. Not really. It hasn't. It really has not been a long time, but I feel like all the days in my life are going kind of slow. And that's okay. It just gives me more time to really reflect, and I've been doing a lot of that. I've been doing a lot of inner work, light work, whatever you want to call it. I've been doing a lot of work, and it's been really. It hasn't been easy, but it's been needed, necessary for sure. So yeah. And like I said, like starting this podcast was just kind of that baby that was born into it. My creative juices were flowing, and it said, like, just do it. I think that my whole reason for this, to even think about, buying the equipment, downloading the software, what have you, was just because I felt like during that time of coming back to myself and dealing with everything, I really found it comforting, and I really found it really therapeutic, to talk to people, to my friends, my family, whoever. I have a great support system, and they were solid in helping me, trying to be okay. And of course, they don't do all the work. I have to do that myself. But when it came down to it, the people that I was able to talk to and just let out and feel cry in front of really helped me out a lot. And I figured if people could do that for me, I hope that whoever's listening to right now, to me right now, is just keeping that in mind. If you're an avid podcast listener, I don't know why or how or whatever you're doing, what you're listening to, who you're listening to, what your reason is, or if it's just, kind of a certain topic that you listen to. I like to think that this podcast is like a conversation with a really good friend or someone that you can, listen to and know that you're not going through stuff alone. So that was my whole kind of reason to start, was I felt like people do need someone in their ear that has that kind of capacity emotionally, mentally. We're gonna get into a lot of things. Trust me, it's not just gonna be deep and in a cry fest or whatever. It's not gonna be like that. I'm gonna have so many people on here. Like I said, I have a great support system, and I have a lot of people that I know that are just wonderful. I'm gonna have them as guests here and there, and I'm really, really excited because everyone that I know has great stories to tell, great lives they're living, and I'm excited for everyone to hear it. So I hope you guys still tune into that. I hope that you're still able to listen to me through that. Like I said, this is a story. I want to tell stories. I want to tell my own story if it helps somebody. I want other people and my friends to tell their stories if that helps somebody. Because right now, this year especially, has been so difficult to even get a grasp of something without something else happening right after. You know what I mean? I feel like everyone is going through this really rough time, and it's going to either make or break people. It's either going to transform people for the better or just make them completely crumble. So, see, I guess, right? People have been calling it like survival of the fittest out here, into the next year, and this whole time has just been so unpredictable, yet eerily predictable all at once. So, if you're going through something rough, just know that that's completely temporary. There's going to be light soon for you, and I hope I can make it easier if you're listening, wherever you are, whoever you are. You know, this is the conversation right now. There's no pressure. There's really nothing to be scared of in that sense. I had that feeling for a while. Like I thought I wasn't gonna get out of whatever I was going through. I thought I was just kind of completely crumpled. But there's different situations and circumstances and people and energies that really come through when you need them to. So I believe in that. And I'm gonna keep the episodes where it's just me talking kind of short, just because I know no one wants to hear me. No one wants to hear me talk for like an hour. The episodes when I have people on are definitely gonna be more extensive. They're gonna be a little longer. Like I said, I'm excited for them to tell their stories, and I'm excited to talk to them about that. Um, yeah. So if you made it this far listening, don't forget to hit that subscribe on that Buzzsprout link, or YouTube if you're listening to this on YouTube. Um, when as of right now, it is November 3rd, and it's election day. I'm not a political person. I voted, but I'm not political. You know what I mean? I'm not a political person. This is the most important time for the younger generation to vote. This is all I'm gonna say. This is a very important time for everyone to get their votes in, and we'll find out what's going to happen. It is a very stressing time for everybody. If you voted, cool. If you haven't, today is the day, last day, and we'll all go through that journey together. But not wanting to get too in deep with that. Moving along. It's November 3rd. I have 5 days until my birthday. I'm turning 25 this year. I am a quarter of a century old. I am worth a quarter in the dollar of life. And it's different. I say that every year. I feel like I've done a lot of things in my life, but I feel like every year feels like it is going to be a different change, a shift. November and December are the months that I kind of discover a lot of transformation in general. So turning 25 this year is going to feel like, even talking about it feels like it's surreal. Like when I say 25, I don't think that I'm like, like 30 soon or whatever. Like I think it's just like, wow. When I was 18, I thought that was a big thing. When I was 21, I thought that was a big thing. Even 23, 24, I was like, oh, okay, cool. But now that I'm 25, it just feels like that number kind of escapes me. I don't know if that age, if that does that to you, however old you are, but like it just really just kind of doesn't matter to me because 25, yeah, that's how old I am, but also like knowing my experiences that I've yet to gone through, I feel like I'm very young in like young, like I'm a kid young still. So yeah, I feel like that. I feel like that all the time. And at the same time, I also feel like my life is just begun. I don't know if you guys know what I've done in my life. I sound so old when I say that. But what I've done in my life, where it's just like 16, I started working out. I was a fan of wrestling for a while before I started doing it. Did wrestling, did some Muay Thai, did some grappling, was trainer for a year. Like, to me, that's a lot when you look at it, but also to me, I don't think it is enough, or I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't know. Some people will stick to that for all their lives, but for me, I feel like just right now, especially, like my life's just begun. Um, and there's so many things to do. There's so many things I still want to do, and this is one of the things I've been wanting to do. So now that I have the opportunity to really, have this creative outlet and freedom to speak to whoever or myself or to you guys, like I really think that there's so much more to life. I think my perception of life and how I view it has changed dramatically, drastically in the last few months and this year alone. It is so empowering, and I advise anyone to also will be more introspective with themselves and really like wonder, like, is this all that is? It's not. There's so many chances for fulfillment that people don't recognize within themselves, but it is completely possible for that extra happiness. Like, if you're content and happy in what you're doing right now, amazing. You're one of the few. And when you're like me, where it feels like there's still so much more, and there's still so much more experience, there's still so many places to go to, let's do it. Let's just do it. Let's go. I'm in that mindset. Definitely, definitely, definitely. There's nothing wrong from wanting more from life. I feel like since you only have this time span, it is your duty, your responsibility to do whatever you want to do to make yourself happy. And it sucks when you think about why we can't, or why we're not able to. And what's like a vice to us right now is that piece of paper, the green piece of paper that rules our entire lives, or that number in our bank account that rules our entire lives, or the direct deposit, whatever. Like, that's what's insane, and I hate that. I've always been against that. I always, been against like knowing that money is everyone's weakness. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you have. I don't care if you have everything right now and you think that like money doesn't matter. It is so important for no reason, and I've always been against that. There's nothing that changes when it comes down to my opinion. But at the same time, as we get older, as time passes by, it's going to be even more important. So that's what sucks. Nothing changes that for sure. Um, Financially, there's no freedom, and everything costs money. Everything has to be a number or price tag, and I hate that. And if you're like me, you know that there's experiences are priceless, but knowing that we can't have them because of that price, it sucks. And I'm in that boat for sure. Um, I feel like my generation, I guess millennials to clarify. Um, I feel like we're on a verge of shifting the rest of our futures, and I think that we've been sitting on it. We've been like a dormant volcano, right? Just ready to go, just ready to erupt and then change something. So the how I'm going to see the rest of my life is going to definitely change. I hope, knowing that there's so much that's gone on already. So, more power to us, more power to everyone listening, more power to whoever is dissatisfied. Let's be satisfied. Let's be happy. Let's finally do something that makes us feel again. So yeah, this is what I mean when I say attack. I'm definitely going to attack life and take it by the horns and just, you know, make it mine and whatever. So yeah, if you're listening to this, just have that in mind. Just be ready to attack the day. Just be ready to attack your own life. Just have that energy because you are in control. Because I don't care what's happening. Like if it's a really rough time that you feel like you can't get out of, I just have to say that it's temporary, and you'll find something. You, I promise. I promise. I've been doing a lot of meditating. I feel like when I was younger, I really had this different notion, or my opinion of it was kind of like, oh, you're hippie, sitting in silence, and so all within, man. I mean, it's still like that to me. But that now I'm saying it. Now I'm saying these things like, oh, it's all within, man. Like, it's so true though. So I've been doing a lot of more meditating, and it just, it helps me be. It just helps me find some clarity in my day, even if it's just in that day. And the next uh, experience that I do it again, it's like a little different. I don't do it every day, and that's the thing. Like people I feel like people who can or do, that's great, but it's definitely a different experience for everybody. And you know, my experience with meditating is like some days I do it and I feel really like I need to do something. I feel restless or like I can't sit still. I can't calm the mind, and that's all training. But at the same time, I would just do what I need to do so I can accomplish that or check that off the to-do list because it's going to be like that for everybody. I feel like people think meditating is just like, oh, you have to do it for this amount of time to feel it. Meditation is a practice that's been around for years before we were even conceived. So it is not going to be cookie cutter. It's not going to be one thing. It's not going to be the same for everybody. Just take that in mind because it all has the same goal. It's just to be more mindful, just to be more aware of where you are. Keep your mind and your body in check together. That's what it does for me, and I've found it really, really helpful. And it's a natural practice. So you just sit there. If I look into guided meditations on YouTube all the time. YouTube has so many sources, and not only YouTube, but there's other apps out there. There's other. I use Headspace. Shout out to Headspace. Um, I have a subscription with them, and I every other day, not even like I get to go on their app and meditate for however long I need to. So there's a lot of sources out there, YouTube, Headspace. There's even more than that I can't really think of right now. But meditation for me has definitely been helping me just kind of mindfulness and clarity and harmony and all these hippie words that you've come to know. But it is true. Like the power is within, and it's a SpongeBob reference if you remember. But the power is within for sure. I suggest you try it. Let me know what you think. Let me know how that goes for you. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Like I said, in the future, there's gonna be more people on my podcast, to just talk about whatever, and it's gonna be a little longer. I think I'm gonna wrap this up this first episode right now. It's only 20 minutes right now, but Yeah, hopefully you tune in the future. Maybe someone you know is going to be on the show. Maybe this is a small city, Las Vegas. So if you're listening to this in Vegas, maybe someone you know is going to be on the show. If you're listening to this wherever you are in the United States, around the world, thank you. Thank you so much. I love it. Like, I am excited because I think upcoming in the next year, I definitely plan to travel. Like, right now is a very, very difficult, sticky situation. I can't really go anywhere and also would be afraid of. And I heard a lot of countries right now are actually going to a second lockdown. So things are happening, and I don't want to be part of that thing or be helpless in that sense. So hopefully, in the next year, it's going to be a little better, and the sky's going to be a little clearer to do that. So I definitely plan to travel, and like I said, whoever's listening to this right now, wherever you are, thank you, thank you, thank you. You're amazing. Even if you just listen to me once, that's okay. This was a conversation that we had, and hopefully that you remember or you think about it, or it helps you throughout your day. So I'm making it short. Thank you guys for listening all the way through. If you've made it, this has been Cat Attacks Life, and I'll see you guys the next time I attack live. Hope everyone has a fantastic day. Till next time, stay well.